Hello, and thank you for joining us for this special edition of the Newsfeed. I'm Melissa Vergara.
And I'm Jet Willingham. In this final spring edition of the Newsfeed, we'll take a look at how Virginia Tech is addressing food insecurity among its student population. Plus, we'll find out what some Virginia Tech students are doing to create a connection between public school curriculum and virtual reality.
And in news around the New River Valley, we'll see what Montgomery County Parks and Recreations are doing to prepare for its residents this summer. Speaking of the New River Valley, our first story comes from Blacksburg. Many people may notice more construction in different areas. Areas of Blacksburg apartments complexes like the Union Blacksburg are dealing with construction right now.
But how can persistent ongoing construction affect the New River Valley? Here's Newsfeed reporter Sean Lyons.
Various apartment complexes are present in Blacksburg. One such complex is Union Blacksburg, which is currently still under construction and has banners claiming to open in August. Teresa McCoy, who has lived in Blacksburg, described how areas of the town today are different than they were around 6 decades ago.
In the 1960s, this sidewalk we're standing on, it was nothing but wrought iron fences and houses and, 2-lane, and we walked to town.
While apartment complexes such as Union Blacksburg could serve as living options for residents after their completion, what aspects of construction could negatively affect people and the environment? A webpage by the City of Radford titled Pollution Sources states that areas of construction can cause pollution. The website states a possible instance is of debris from those areas being rained away, and states it can lead to harm for fish and plants. McCoy said the construction of buildings in Blacksburg and an increase in the maximum amount of building stories has affected the character of the town.
I think that's kind of taken away from the hometown feel of Blacksburg as it used to be and has been.
Another Radford webpage titled Pollution Prevention provides advice on how to reduce environmental pollution. This is Sean Lyons reporting for the Newsfeed.
The New River Valley has many small businesses and family-owned restaurants. For Blacksburg in particular, being a college town, these businesses do not see the same volume of customers during long breaks or even the summer months, which are approaching. Newsfeed reporter Connor Morris joins us with more on how small businesses survive when thousands of students leave town. Connor?
Thanks, Jet. Virginia Tech has over 30,000 students. These students shop at small businesses and eat at local restaurants while they're here for school. However, during the 3-month period where students are away for summer break, these businesses see a rapid decrease in customers. Many of these businesses have to change how they operate during this 3 months as a result of there being no students. Bethany Steele has worked at the restaurant Milk Parlor for almost 3 years. She says that this restaurant is very different in the summertime.
Inventory is really hard for us to predict with all the families flooding in for graduation weekend and then heading out, and all the students leave shortly after, and it's just a slow summer.
Businesses like these struggle to make as much money over the summer months, which results in them having to make cutbacks in order to remain open. This includes a limited menu or less staff during the 3 months without students. In a college town like Blacksburg, the students are what keep this area financially stable. Without them, many of these small businesses would not survive. Just as expected, the town of Blacksburg is very different when students are not here. Understanding how these local shops are affected gives even more reason for you to support small businesses whenever you can. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Connor Morris.
Thanks, Connor. Supporting locally owned businesses is indeed an important aspect of a strong community. It promotes growth and keeps small businesses running. NRV Homegrown has created a way to promote buying local and helps customers save money. Newsfeed reporter Michaela Shelton tells us more in this next story.
NRV Homegrown has Go Local cards for community members to buy as an initiative to buy locally instead of chain stores. The card is $20 and can be used for a year to get discounts on any of the participating locally owned businesses. Lee Wall, founding member of NRV Homegrown, said the cards are beneficial for everyone.
It's also a fundraiser. It's also pushing money back into the local economy, and then the small businesses are filling it by bringing in money. So it's kind of a win-win for everyone.
A kind of win-win that also keeps the money within the community.
When they're here, they live here, their kids go to school, the head office is here. So all the money is really kept here.
The Go Local card started in 2019, but Wall said COVID threw a wrench into the plan.
A lot of them say they have had some business, but it's kind of hard to tell really if we were in pre-COVID, what kind of impact we would have had.
Despite the pandemic, Sherry Chandler said the cards have had a positive impact on her small business, Tan and Tone.
Yeah, I do feel like a lot of people come here and get the Go Local card because of what I offer, but also because I take the time to show the book and say, here's all these other places that you can go.
The cards can be bought online at nrvhomegrown.org and some local retailers that can be found in the online directory. Reporting for the newsfeed, I'm Michaela Shelton.
According to a 2019 survey, around 29% of the undergraduate community and 33% of the graduate community at Virginia Tech identifies they experience some level of food insecurity. The Market at Virginia Tech is a program that focuses on food insecurity as it relates specifically to students of Virginia Tech. Food insecurities on Virginia Tech's campus is a big problem for students and often is overlooked, according to Cass Church, the organizer of the Market at Virginia Tech. Church says that the food insecurity on college campuses looks different than the general population. Of course, it can be an economic problem where students do not have financial means to purchase nutritious food, but there is more to it for most students.
Still, for others, we find that food insecurity looks like not having the ability to prepare meals, maybe sometimes skipping meals because schedules are often very busy for students. So it's really multi-layered, but enough of a problem that we really do need to focus on it as a university.
Church says that the goal of the Market of Virginia Tech is to end food insecurity on Tech's campus. The program has what they called a free grocery store located at University City Mall, where students can pick up free produce and non-perishable items. Students can enroll in the Markets program by visiting the VT Engage website. Currently, there are no requirements to enroll in the program. Graduate programs at Virginia Tech are on the path to getting a well-needed upgrade. After a year-long battle with the university, the Graduates and Professional Students Senate proposal for higher wages has been approved by the University Council. Graduate students fighting for a living wage is not a battle that started this past year. After gaining a lot of online attention, more of the student populations became aware of this situation. The proposal getting approved by the University Council is a big win for graduate students and the organizations fighting for it. Shanita Lee, Graduate Director of Recruitment, Diversity, and Inclusion, says she is glad this movement is sparking the long-needed discussion around income disparities among graduate students.
And a couple of them actually, which was fine with me, hesitated because they're like, we're actually having discussions, at the college level to figure out what that number is going to be. So I think it is a move in the right direction. Nobody is trying to reduce the income of grad students, but think about what leverage or what wiggle room do they have in their budget to, hopefully over time exponentially get to that point.
The approved resolution still has a few steps before it goes into effect. The next steps are for university presidents and Board of Visitors to approve the stipend increase. If approved, the resolution will solve a lot of income disparities in Virginia Tech's graduate programs. Stay with us, there's more just ahead on the special edition of the newsfeed. Coming up, we'll tell you how Virginia Tech students are researching ways to make virtual reality a reality in public schools classrooms.
And as the season gets warmer, that means more people are venturing outdoors. We'll take a look at how Parks and Recreation in Montgomery County is preparing for the summer. Those stories and more after this break.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Welcome back to the newsfeed. I'm Jet Willingham. Virtual reality will soon be breaking into public classrooms, but it might come with some drawbacks. Virginia Tech is researching how to make the virtual world accessible in the classroom. With the cost of headsets decreasing, some of this technology might make the cut into public schools' budget. But public schools are facing some problems with headset cost and maintenance. Teachers are trying to find good educational experiences, but with limited inventory, it is hard to find something of high-level quality. Todd Ogle and his team at Virginia Tech are trying to create experiences that will help students engage using animation, programming, and 3D printing.
Some people, but trying to create something more experiential. We hope that the power of it engages the students to the point that they remember more about what they've learned.
And once you've got it on,
as they create more experiences, Ogle and his team are keeping accessibility in mind. Their hope is to create something which will connect virtual reality with mobile phones and Chromebooks. In the New River Valley, there are many options when it comes to parks and recreation. The Blacksburg and Christiansburg Recreation Centers are two centers located just within a few miles of each other. The town of Blacksburg itself has over 500 acres of public parks. Newsfeed reporter Gavin Linden has more on the NRV summer month plans in the upcoming weeks.
The Blacksburg Community and Aquatic Center are located off of Patrick Henry Boulevard and offer many different amenities to residents in the area. The Blacksburg Community and Aquatic Center also hold 2 soccer fields, tennis courts, and a baseball field for kids of all ages to use outside of their facilities. White lines are being painted as the workers here at the Blacksburg Community Center are finalizing their preparations for summer sports. Soccer and baseball are 2 sports getting started back up here in Blacksburg and Christiansburg. The Christiansburg Recreation Center is located just off of North Franklin Street, offering the same and even more amenities than Blacksburg. While the temperatures are warming up, summer programs are just around the corner. The director of Parks and Recreation in Christiansburg, Brad Epperly, touched on some of the programs being offered.
So, we have a variety of camps that we do. A lot of them are athletic camps for a younger population. We also are doing a senior craft camp designed for senior citizens for them to come in. Just it's busy times for us.
Andrew Ray, a resident of Christiansburg, talked about why he is a fan of parks in the New River Valley.
If you know what to look for, or if you educate yourself on what to look for, there's a lot of little hidden gems in the area.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, this is Gavin Linden.
As a Division I school, Virginia Tech has countless achievements this academic school year, and now this trend is continuing with softball and baseball. According to recent rankings, these teams have had an impressive season so far. Virginia Tech is the only ACC school to have both softball and baseball teams ranked so highly in the NCAA polls. Hockey softball is ranked number 1 out of all D1 teams, while Hockey baseball is ranked 5th. With these recent standings, English Field, where the baseball teams play, has had the biggest turnout of fans this season than in past years. Cameron Fraser, a lead social media creative for Hockey baseball, says it's important to capture fan moments in a game and continue boosting team morale.
Fans have been so engaging, and there's been so many. Like you said, we had our biggest turnout. Even the people that I bring on, they want to capture this because there's never been this many fans.
The softball and baseball teams continue to practice and prepare for the rest of their season. They are also preparing for regionals, which are set to take place at the end of May. In other sports news, the Virginia Tech football program and fans alike are pleased with the outcome of the NFL draft that took place recently. But what kind of impact does the draft have on a future Hockey football recruiting? Newsfeed reporter Leah Garrison tells us in this next story.
A total of 4 Virginia Tech Hockey football players were drafted into the NFL this week. Katie Adams, a VT football student recruiting assistant, says she knows Virginia Tech players being drafted will have a positive effect on the way Virginia Tech is able to recruit.
I think high school kids, when they're making their college decision, it's definitely in the back of their head is, which school is going to help me achieve my dream of going to the NFL. So when they're watching the draft and they see Amari Barno selected from Virginia Tech, they're going to be like, oh, the Virginia Tech coaches were able to produce product and talent that's going to make it to the NFL. And so they're able to kind of envision themselves in those shoes as well.
Tanner Barnes, a graduate assistant for Hokie Vision, says how one of the main things high school students look for in their college athletic careers are the coaches.
It makes them feel like that there's talent not only on the field on that team, but with the coaches. And those coaches will get them to where they need to be. So the better recruits are going to go to the schools that have more draft picks.
Katie also says how the draft has a positive impact on the school and team, which in turn has a positive impact on the future of athletic recruiting.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of hype around it. I'm sure there's a bunch of Virginia Tech students watching the draft, and so I think it's a celebratory time when you see, your friends get drafted. And so we had 4 guys who was able to, be called on their name on Saturday. And so it's definitely exciting for Blacksburg and Virginia Tech and all the students to see their fellow classmates make it big.
Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Leah Garrison.
Stay with us. There's more just ahead on this edition of the Newsfeed. Coming up, we'll learn about unique graduation ceremonies for Virginia Tech students of different cultural backgrounds.
And a group of moms are showing up on Virginia Tech campus with their arms wide open. We'll tell you why after this short break.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Welcome back to the Newsfeed. I'm Melissa Vergara. Virginia Tech's Spring 2020 graduation is approaching over the span of 5 days. There are a number of ceremonies occurring in different colleges. In addition to the university commencement, there are also special ceremonies held each year exclusively for Virginia Tech students of different cultural backgrounds. Days before the traditional university graduation ceremonies held in Lane Stadium, there are Virginia Tech Cultural Achievement ceremonies for graduating seniors. These ceremonies highlight graduating students' backgrounds such as First Together, which celebrates first-generation students' successes, and the Gesta Latina, which focuses on achievements of Hispanic and Latinx students. Virginia Tech student Ashley Cordova says the cultural achievement ceremonies are an important recognition for her students like her.
Basically, since I'm Hispanic and Latina, I think it's pretty important to recognize how some people rise above certain restrictions within their home countries or anything that they're facing on their personal lives, and it makes it a better view for everyone to see the struggles that they're facing in reality.
Many of the cultural achievement ceremonies this year are planned for the second week of May. Anyone can find out more about the Cultural Achievement Ceremony times and locations by going to the Cultural and Community Center webpage at ccc.vt.edu. Virginia Tech prides itself on cultural inclusion and diversity. In addition to celebrating students with cultural achievement, graduating ceremonies, the university has hosted many different cultural events and programs, as well as the formation of cultural community centers. Newsfeed reporter Matthew Scopa joins us to tell us more about these cultural centers. Matthew?
Thanks, Melissa. Inside Squire Student Center, there are different cultural centers which act as safe spaces and study rooms for students. There are 5 of these centers. They include the BCC, the Black Cultural Center, El Centro, the Hispanic Cultural Center, the ACE Center, the Asian Cultural Engagement Center, the American Indian and Indigenous Community Center, and the LGBTQ+ Resource Center. All of the centers operate under the Office of Diversity and Inclusion at Virginia Tech. Director of the Hispanic Cultural Center, Veronica Montez, emphasized how the centers can offer a sense of belonging to students.
The sense of belonging, to create that you are welcome here. Many times that when we welcome our students to say, oh, this is home, but for many of our students, this is not home. They don't really feel that they belong here.
The centers provide more than just space for students as they organize events, offer educational help, and allow for a place of advocacy for the different cultural groups. Reiterating Montez's words, the centers allow a place for students of different minorities to feel welcome and safe on Virginia Tech's campus. The centers allow access to all students of all cultures and backgrounds and can be reserved for free after 5 p.m. Visit the BCC, ACE, and American Indian and Indigenous Community Center on the first floor of Squires, and you can visit the LGBTQ+ Center and El Centro on the second and third floor, respectively. Reporting from the newsroom, I'm Matt Scopa.
Thanks, Matthew. A mental health first aid course is now being offered at Virginia Tech. The course teaches techniques to help assist someone experiencing a mental health crisis. Some of the topics covered in the course include depression, anxiety disorder, and substance abuse. The course is designed for faculty and staff at Virginia Tech so they can better assist students with their mental health, but it is open to anyone, David Andrews, Associate Director for Hokie Wellness and Mental Health First Aid Trainer, said. The course helps make those tough conversations not so difficult.
I think it really helps having the conversation about what do you do when someone's not doing well. It gives a nice little framework for how do you actually step in, what can you do to support somebody.
Andrews said the classes fill up very quickly. The class is from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and can be taken in person or online. The cost of the mental health first aid course is paid for by Virginia Tech for all faculty and staff. Andrews hopes that there will be a version of this course for students in the future. With college finals underway, the stress levels rising. Virginia Tech moms have taken it upon themselves to combat this with a skill they know well. They have decided to give out mom hugs and snacks to students. In this next story, Newsfeed reporter Tatiana Walker tells us more about Hugs for Hokies.
First launched in February of 2022 after a shooting happened in downtown Blacksburg, Hugs for Hokies is a group of mothers who have joined together on and around the drill field to give out mom hugs to students who may need one. In their Hokie gear, these moms stand with arms out wide to give out hugs to students who are feeling stressed and alone and just need a mom in their corner.
I'm a GA on campus, and so I advise students, and I've been an advisor before on campus, and so I know how much these little hugs and these little things are just the little ticket that you need to make it through the day sometimes, or just get you through the semester.
In addition to the hugs, they give out contact information for the Cook Counseling Center, Hokie's Wellness Center, and other campus resources. And since food insecurity rises at the end of the semester, they also give out snacks and drinks.
I worry a little bit about food insecurity. I worry that kids aren't getting enough to eat, especially towards the end of the year. So I was like, let's just try it, let's see what happens. I thought for sure nobody would come.
Yeah, you too.
Surprise!
Virginia Tech students have been incredibly receptive towards these mom hugs, and some even come back with friends for more. Volunteers are welcomed with open arms, and some even stop by with more snacks for the students.
Sometimes you just need a hug, and these moms are here to make sure no student goes lonely or hungry. They will be out again Saturday, May 7th at Weston Market and Turner's Place, giving out even more hugs and snacks. Reporting for the Newsfeed, I'm Tatiana Walker.
That will wrap up this final spring edition of the Newsfeed. Over the next few months, the Newsfeed will be going on a hiatus, but we will be returning in September with a new group of journalists and a new series of stories to keep you up to date about what's going on with Virginia Tech and the New River area.
While we are away, if you have any story ideas, send them our way. You can connect with us on Facebook or Twitter, or send us an email at thenewsfeednrv@gmail.com. Thanks again for joining us. I'm Melissa Vergara.
And I'm Jet Willingham. From all of us at the Newsfeed, we hope you enjoy the rest of spring and have a safe and wonderful summer.